just west of Truckee, California, investigating the Donner Tunnels. In 1868, construction started on what would take Chinese laborers more than 15 months to complete. We're here tonight to investigate and find out if there are still spirits somehow connected to these structures.
And welcome to another edition of Unexplained Cases Live. You've got Rick Garner, Darren, Dedo, and of course, Miriam the Medium.
Oliver.
And Oliver making a special appearance. We can only see the back of your head, Oliver.
You know why he's making a special appearance? Because you played the old Unexplained Cases theme song, and that scares him.
Oh, that
His ears go back, and he starts to whine. And I said, you know what? Uncle Rick should know better by now. I thought that's why we changed the theme song originally.
You thought I changed it for him? I was just being, creative differences there.
We went old school tonight.
I was just dipping back into the old music there. And sorry, Ollie. I thought we'd move past this, bro.
No.
Oh, all right. Well, that's how the cookie crumbles.
You have to send like a bag of dog treats to make it up to him.
Absolutely. I'll get you some vegan dog treats. You'll appreciate that. So
Did you hear that?
Just send him some carrots. That'll be good enough.
Here's some celery. It's fine.
Dude, my dogs like green and red peppers.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. Yeah, they'll eat carrots too. But then they usually throw them up all over the place later. But that's enough. They're trying to be healthy,
right?
I don't know.
It's like, damn it, Darren, I'm trying to be a vegan.
Listen, vegetables are not vegan. They're vegetables.
Well, but isn't like that part of it? That's...
Couldn't you? You can like deep fry them.
It's like when people say it's vegan food. A carrot's not vegan food. A carrot's a carrot. It's a vegetable. Like vegan food is food that,
is poopy. No, actually, I oh shit! You don't have no idea. Actually, I had a vegan meal tonight. It was all vegan.
All right, so quit talking shit.
Yeah, see,
Yeah, I just went in the backyard and I ate with the dogs out there in the grass.
Wow. Okay, children, I'm going to send you to your separate corners. Hey,
this
Lori.
This is what happens when the whole family's together. You can never
first of
Can
all,
we just have one night without fighting, please?
What'd you do? Break your finger? What the hell is that thing on your thing? What is that?
See,
oh my God! You're like a bank teller or something. Hey, first of all, I didn't know Miss Pac-Man was associated with these tunnels. I saw like one of the ghosts from Miss Pac-Man was in.
Yeah, wasn't that a nice little tagging going on the walls there?
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
Spray graffiti.
There's so much graffiti. They had like the Miss Pac-Man ghosts on the walls. Like,
you're going to create graffiti and you choose Miss Pac-Man as your muse?
Could you do something else? A
little tougher, like a little more kick-ass. I thought graffiti was like...
Well, yeah,
like Donkey Kong.
Maybe someone had an 80s vibe going on, right? So, hey, Laura and Linda, Dawn, Lori. Yeah, thanks everybody for being here tonight. So, been inside the tunnel, spooky for sure. I am here. Donner Summit, Truckee. So, all right, Lori. Well, that's good to know. So, we're talking about your area of the woods there then. So, now they are destroying the tunnels. What is that about?
Oh, probably all the graffiti, don't you think? And all the whatever else they're doing up there.
Yeah, that's the thing is where it's like, I remember reading an article. It's like, people being idiots, basically. It's like, here's something perfectly great and you're going to go in there and screw it up. But, that's what happens with anything that's in essence abandoned. Right. People are going to go in and be stupid. So, Trezan, appreciate it. Thanks so much for everybody being here. So, one person who isn't here, unfortunately, would be Mr. McQueary. So he had let me know this afternoon that the roads to the tunnels were closed due to snow. Of course, I'm like, I often don't think about the fact that it's like snow in California,
high country.
Yeah. So you know, yes.
Listen, if he really wanted to come on the show, he would get a snowplow and he would take care of that snow.
Get some snowshoes.
Patrick, come on.
You've been called out. Yeah, boy.
Maybe he can FaceTime us.
He's at home in bed at this point.
See,
with his hot chocolate.
I'm just waiting for him to chime
blow
in.
Up Instagram.
To chime in here any moment into the comments there. Basically, that would be quite funny. So M, what
are we doing?
If we're gonna do basically what we talked about, then the show must go on. So in this case, I feel like we should take a peek and do the old remote view that we would normally do, and then if we have to, we can actually take a little look at Patrick's investigation that he had recorded a while back. So the show must go on. We're not going to be stopped. That's how it is.
Darren, can you do your shtick so I can learn the time about what I'm looking at?
Yeah, actually, he talked a little bit about it. Patrick did that. The tunnels at Donner Pass were constructed by Chinese laborers under some pretty brutal conditions. Took more than 15 months to finish. A dozen tunnels were some of the most treacherous parts of the Transcontinental Railroad, of course, trying to get out to California during the gold rush, linking the rail networks of Omaha, Nebraska to the West Coast at Oakland. They were constructed. You get this. Can you imagine this back then? Through the use of hand drilling, of course, black powder and nitroglycerin, that led to an untold number of worker deaths. And one of the and I wish I could find it. One of the stories I saw or read about was that they had some type of an avalanche or something like that. A bunch of people died because how cold it is. They were basically entombed in ice. And then in the springtime, when everything thawed out, the workers were obviously found their bodies with their tools still in their hands. So they sat there through the whole winter. And of course, there was a lot of bad stuff going on with Chinese folks that were building railroads back then. But it looks like tunnels 6, 7, and 8 are the most haunted. But of course, it is the Donner Pass, which has an ominous name because of what happened. The Donner Party, which I'm sure a lot of people know about the whole cannibalism and things. In 1846, April, it was led by two wealthy brothers, Jacob and George Donner. Didn't exactly find the right way to go. The immigrants initially followed the regular California trail westward. That's right. I remember this fort. I think it's Bridger, Wyoming. But then they tried to pull an audible. It really wasn't them. Many authors blame the tragedy of what happened. Half of them died. On Lansford Warren Hastings, who was out there with him, was an Ohio lawyer who promoted the ill-advised shortcut now known as the Hastings Cutoff. So they tried to get a quicker way across the mountains, ended up trapping them. There was how many people there were on that died? 87 men, women, and children. Of course, they were stuck for the winter. 41 had died of cold and starvation. And some of the other ones were eaten for the people to survive. So
was that considered vegan? I mean, they weren't technically eating animals; they were eating human. I mean, so I guess if they were vegan,
they were recycling.
Yeah, that's an interesting form of recycling. And so you said Hastings. So is that where we get being hasty and how that's not?
I don't know. I didn't even think about it. But can you imagine that? You're freezing, you're stuck, you're from, where were they from? Ohio or something like that? I think is where it's like, what the hell are we doing out here? We're trying to get to California. Now we're stuck out here. And then, hey, to survive, people started eating the people that perished. I remember I watched a documentary at one time and it was fascinating, but horrible at the same time. And we were talking about it earlier. They actually have board games.
Yeah, show them the board game, Rick.
Hey kids, come on over. Let's play the Donner Party board game.
Yeah, I mean,
it's so rude and like disrespectful and like in such poor taste.
I mean, hey, there you go.
It's a rowdy game of frontier cannibalism that's fun for everyone in the family. Look at the ages 12 and up. 12 and up, 4 to 10 players. What are you just going to start grubbing on each other? What the hell are you going to do during this?
What? Who thought that was a good idea?
Well, it doesn't look like Milton Bradley. I don't know who that game maker was.
It's one of the lower tier ones, basically.
It's like Monopoly or Donner Party, kids. Which one do you want to play tonight? Neither, Dad.
Okay, so how do I know which tunnel is which?
I don't.
They're all connected. So to me, it's like
there's probably 6, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't care.
I was about to say I don't have any reference to numbers of those images, but I also have some lovely video to share while we're going along too. So, So
I mean, boy, you've got a lot of folks that could be up there. The Chinese folks that built the railroad, the Donner Party folks. It's pretty. And then what it was like in 1993 is when I think they finally shut it down.
Oh, really?
Or they had like a different route or something.
Yeah, took a different route, so it stopped being used.
All
but
right.
yeah, huge area though, ridiculous.
Let's see what sweet little angels are hiding out here.
Wow, do I hear sarcasm dripping from your face?
That's why I wore my Wonder Woman ring that I was flipping off Darren with.
What the hell's her name? Diana or something?
Diana Prince.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Who's that?
That's Wonder Woman.
Oh,
Diana
sorry.
Prince. So...
I'm not as old as you guys. I don't know that.
Oh wow!
Wait a second.
I'm dumping you from this. That's it. I'm dumping you from the ship.
Although I did get my application for AARP, so there we go. I got that going.
Did?
For me too. Oh yeah. I'm gonna do it, man. I think it's
Are you 50?
in 10 days. Yeah.
Really? That's when they hit you up for AARP, huh?
Yep.
They're like, hey, look at this. So I got AAA and now AARP. I'm living large.
The moment you turn, ding.
Congratulations.
Look at that. That is amazing what they did, though. You think about that? If it was hand tools that they used to build that thing. Oh my gosh.
All right. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I got to figure this out.
I know it's probably going to be hard you're going to be getting folks from all over the place.
Darren, are you going to hang out with us for the Titanic this week? It sucked when you weren't there.
Yeah.
Well, that's Wednesday a long story.
I know,
Wednesday
right?
night. So because the anniversary was the 12th, correct? Is that when it, or is it the 9th? When was it?
It's the 13th and the 14th, but we did it last Wednesday night. Trezan,
that's awful.
I had to put that up there. So we decided to do a part 2 this Wednesday on Insta Live.
Nice.
Can you come?
With or without you,
of course.
You better be there for part 2.
Oh, good. That'll be fun.
Although the way my day's been going today, I may walk off into you'll never see me again. I'm going to go to Alaska and just like, what happened to Darren? I don't know. You went to Alaska and just kept walking.
Well, you could still turn your phone on StreamYard.
That's true.
Insta. Okay. Could you imagine if this was the show where I was like, I'm not getting anything?
Well, that'd be great.
There is a person. Hold on, I'm trying to find a tunnel here that talks to me. La 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 la.
Think Pac-Man.
La 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 la. La la la.
Can you imagine being up there at nighttime though? How terrifying that would be.
Oh, what's the song in my head? Yes, sorry, Darren's trying to stay in character. Yes, it would be very scary, Darren.
Em and I are over in the corner here singing soul songs or something. So it's just like, yeah.
I'd love to go see that one day. That's beautiful.
Oh my god!
Not the dead people. I don't want to go see the dead people. Tunnel 6 was used. Amtrak, Union Pacific. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, Lori.
I was going to say nothing. Nothing.
All right, 7:15. We're going.
I know we're going good. All right,
can you put is there like a best of unexplained cases? You could just push the button and see.
I'm thinking about Frasier when it's like roll the best of Frasier. So I'm like, that's about where we're at right now. So
I remember back when I was
probably over there talking about 50 billion people, and I'm like,
See, Angela's the one person who's doing her job right now. I can see her in the green room. She's eating bonbons and painting at the same time. She's multitasking.
Hey, where's no Jordan tonight, huh?
Well, he said he was going to join us. So, but I mean, it's like 4 a.m. So I always give him a pass.
Is it really?
Gosh.
Yeah, I always give him a daughter pass. Hey!
Hello. All right, you guys shut up for a minute. All right, let me figure this out. There once was a man from the.
What do you?
That's why I'm putting you full screen. So.
Oh, you put me on full screen. Crap.
She's probably reading a Kindle. She's not even looking at pictures right now.
Right.
I'm watching a movie actually.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Okay. Seriously, get me on full screen and you guys talk quietly and let me figure this out.
Oh my goodness! I was trying to give you center stage, and this is what you get.
Cute.
See, and then Oliver comes in, basically.
So cute.
You know.
Okay, it's this tunnel right here. There's some stuff in it.
Ooh. Like dust.
Like I see how this will sound crazy. There's a one-legged man in there.
Oh my gosh.
Why he only has one leg, I don't know. I don't know
Lots
if
of
that
reasons.
happened.
Accident.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter. What matters is just that he's the one he's there, and his heart is really heavy. I think that he had. I think that he was a worker. He was a worker, and he said he lost his leg as a child, actually. And he worked there. What did they do there again? What did they do?
Well, they're basically digging through the mountain to create a tunnel for rail to make it all the way out to California.
Okay,
so they do a lot of blasting, explosives, digging, things like that.
So he was there when a couple of his friends died, or friends/workers died. He witnessed them dying. And that's why he's still there. He feels responsible. He feels, even though he's saying, like, I when something happened and I heard this sound and it was a warning, like it should have been a warning. I should have done something when I heard this sound and I didn't. I thought, oh, it'll be fine. It's not what I think it is. And then his friends were like, they were buried, it feels like. Or like there was a combination of an explosion and that caused the burial for some others.
Yeah, I could see that totally. Yeah.
And so he comes back. He's there because of guilt and sadness, obviously, for the loss of his friends. I'm asking him now if he wants to what's this, passing over, where are you at with that? What's, and he's like, yeah, I mean, he's gone over and he comes back. He goes over and he comes back. And so he's still trying to figure out why things ended the way they did. He's not able to close the chapter, and close the door on this situation. He's just taking such, is there anything that I can do to help you get closure? I'm not sure why you are still taking responsibility. He's saying these people, these were my friends, but they also had families. They had children, and that was all taken away. And I feel responsible for this. Okay, I'm just telling him now that, obviously these guys have moved on. Their families have moved on. And why are you unable to move on? He says, I don't want to. He just doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. He's like searching. He's like searching and researching almost. He feels almost like someone who would come back and do research to determine how things happened and why things happened and how to not make them happen again. It's like that's the work he's doing. So that's it for him.
Would you think it was maybe like a foreman or somebody who was in charge of his team? That, and obviously, maybe how they set the explosives.
Maybe that's why that guilt is so heavy. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe, but he didn't say that he was, but it could be that's why he was feeling responsible, such a responsibility, because he was showing me how he was like, he's here and then his friends were down here in the tunnel. So something that he heard, it's like there was a rumbling that started here that he's thinking he could have had time to warn them that this was coming, and he should have, but he disregarded the rumbling as no, it's not what I think it is. So that's where he's feeling like he was responsible. There's families. Okay, so was this used as a pass-through for people on foot?
Trains.
Because I'm seeing so many families, like mom, dad, and 2 kids, mom, dad, and 3 kids with luggage, but they're walking through.
Maybe there was like well, no, they wouldn't walk out. I was trying to think if the train got stuck in some type of a snow slide or something but they sure as hell aren't going to walk all the way through the tunnels of the train. They'd wait to clear the snow out of the way. I don't know. That's interesting.
There's like, this is used as like a pass through to the other side. What's the other side though?
You mean, I thought you meant like a portal type thing. I think they used just Chinese people because it was cheap labor. I think that's why, horrible conditions, and maybe they couldn't get anybody else to do it. And this promise to come to America.
Didn't we use them as slaves also at one point?
Well, I wouldn't know if I would go that far, but I mean, certainly they were not treated very well. And once they got here, they were kind of stuck. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you can't, you're not going to go back.
I see. So I don't know if this is a portal, like but there's just so many. I'm looking at this picture right now. There's a glare. This one. And it's showing me these families that are walking through to get to the other side. And I'm asking, to get to the other side, why are they using this as a cross through? They're not. They're walking in circles. Well, why are they walking in circles?
Is it possible that these could be Donner Party people? I mean, I don't know I don't know where they would have been in relation to this, but
that's interesting. Well, I'm seeing families, and was the Donner Party. I'm seeing 2 kids.
Oh, there's a lot of women. Dad. Yeah, what was it? Let me see how many were there. 87 men, women, and children.
87?
Yeah, 87 men, women, and children. And was it 41 that made it? I can't remember the exact number.
Hang on, I got to plug my phone in. Okay, well, I'm not seeing 87 yet, but 87 could come up. Let's see. I'm wondering why. So this one family in particular I'm seeing, it's a mother and father and then the 2 kids, and they keep walking through, and they're saying they're going in a circle, so like they're stuck. Where are you guys trying to get to? There was confusion at the time of death. They all died together, and there was confusion over, there was fighting, and then there was confusion, and then they're saying they don't remember anything after that. They're saying that they just remember fighting and confusion, and that was it. And then they died. And so this family, like the father's not talking, the mother isn't talking. I'm just trying to kind of get some energy off the kids, to see what they're saying happened. And these kids were old enough to be able to articulate that was the scenario, that there was confusion, there was arguing, and then they just remember dying. The kids saw their parents die first. It's feeling like they were killed. like the argument caused their death, or somebody killed them, or they were just left.
Can you tell what time period they're from? Do they look like back in the 1800s?
They're wearing like brown, like dress prairie looking outfits. You know, like those skirts and
like Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
Well, that could be.
Yeah, and the thing around their head.
Like a bonnet, isn't that what they call that or something? Yeah.
A bonnet, yes. But the parents won't talk. Just it's the kids who are following the parents. I'm going to see if I can at least split them up, because if the parents don't want to cross over, but the kids do, I mean, that's not fair. Like, these kids are just like, they're tired. They're just like, I'm calling in, I'm asking some higher ups if they can they be separated so that the kids, this one little girl that I'm talking to, so she wants to move on with her life. She doesn't want to be there anymore. Okay. They came in and took her. The little boy's, the boy is like head down with the parents, not. But the little girl, just one of the guides came in and just took her. But the boy and the parents are just have their heads down and are just doing this.
Interesting.
Linda says escalate, call in your supervisor.
That's right. Can I speak with your supervisor, please?
Yes. I'm sorry, I'd like to speak with your supervisor. You're not good enough.
That's what I did.
Side note, apparently there are no laws in the United States that are against cannibalism. So I guess nobody committed anything illegal back then.
How is that possible?
I don't know, but most, if not all, states have enacted laws that indirectly make it impossible to legally obtain and consume the body matter. I don't know. I'm just looking. We're going off the rails here. No pun intended.
I mean, I guess the fact, if you have to enact a law to tell someone not to eat someone else, I mean, come on.
Right. Exactly.
Can you send an angel to protect them? I mean, here's a question, Linda. Let me throw that back at you. Protect them from what? What are you concerned about? I mean, they're already in a stressful situation, so they're not going to be, I mean, yeah, just what do you think? I'm genuinely just asking that way I can.
Yeah, it's a valid question. Because I mean, to me, I'm also equally curious just about the whole like going in a circle. It just almost seems like to humanize. Well, you could say definitely repetitive loop there, but just like if a person is basically stuck and kind of like I'm going through the motions and I'm doing the same thing over and over again, this could also be a spiritual equation of that.
Interesting.
Indicative of trauma.
Yeah.
Indicative of like I'm just stuck in this routine.
I mean, we've seen it before, and it's just these, just like in body. I mean, people do that same shit in body, where they just do the same thing over and over, and you don't realize you do, but you do. And then when, you said, when trauma hits, these spirits, the spirits choose to stay there. They're not being held there. They choose to stay there. They're choosing to stay in the trauma. Just like we saw with I saw with the little girl who was like, I don't want to stay in this anymore. Get me out. I'm sorry, what did Linda say?
She had maybe an angel convince them by its presence, by it being there to cross over.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting point, Linda. The angels are always there. Everyone has guidance all the time, whether you're in or out of body. They're always there. It's free will, you know? Oh.
Right there. Yeah, Don Murray. There we go.
10-4, Don. Right there.
And now, before we dare move on, if we kind of have a transition moment, I think Angie, I think, had something. So do we want to slide her out of the green room for a second?
Do it.
Yes. See how she's
Bring
doing.
it.
Live from Ohio. Oh my God.
Let me just go ahead and make that full screen.
What?
So,
I don't think he was traveling in first class on the train. I don't think.
you know what, sir?
No.
A little ointment would actually help that a lot. You've got a skin condition going on there, brother.
His teeth are on the outside of his face.
You know that ointment can't help with that, buddy. I'm sorry.
Braces?
I think we're beyond
A
braces.
retainer? Just a little
He's
retainer?
mummified. He's like a mummified body.
Oh,
A mummified bot? What?
sort of like a one of the people that on the crew. They got froze to death.
Like the movie Frozen?
He's definitely
Let it go,
Chinese.
Miriam. Let it go.
Sorry, Angela.
He's definitely Chinese, and he made his presence known. In fact, if you saw me in the green room, my lights went out, and my light switches actually turned themselves off.
Whoa. Paranormal activity.
Now I'm very disappointed I missed that.
Yeah, he. I didn't know if you noticed that, but my lights suddenly would darken. I'm like, why did it get dark? And then all my light switches just turned themselves off, and I wasn't touching it because I was working on this. But he was the first thing. The first thing when you get the location is the first spirit that comes forward, and he's in the tunnels, but he's like frightening people. People will see him exactly as I depicted him because he looks like a mummified body. But he's back in the mine, and I get that he's like an unrecovered body back there. One of many unrecovered bodies, and it feels like it's his duty to wander the mines and scare people that have a particular persuasion that he is holding responsible for forcing the Chinese to work.
Interesting. No kidding.
Clearly, he feels like he got the shaft.
But don't.
Damn, Rick's on fire tonight.
You need to have Rick. You need to have that but like so you can play it.
Have a little rim shot. Could you emphasize stupid?
Stupid. Listen, these eyes back here, they see everything.
Oh, clearly, they could use a little, put some.
They stare into your soul.
They do stare into your soul, don't they? Don't they?
Do they?
Sorry, Angela's the only one working tonight, so
I know, right? So sorry.
So, he's got teeth sticking out.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
But he
That's
is hanging
probably
out.
one of the better. I mean, you draw some pretty scary shit, but that thing is awesome.
Yeah,
that's pretty high on the scary shit meter.
Actually, I think you could have a whole line of those particular paintings right there. And now the one you drew for Mike might be high up there, basically. She might be above. I don't know. I mean,
you know what you should do, Rick? You should do like a montage of quick clips of all her scary ones, which are all of them, and put it to music. That would be good.
Oh, hey, I like that.
I mean, it would take you days and days and days and hours and hours and hours, but it would be worth it.
I do that with one hand tied behind my back.
It'd be worth it for 26 views on Insta. Come on.
Hey, maybe 50. Let's get real.
They'll appreciate it. Although Cindy has a relevant question.
Oh yeah.
What happened to his other eye? So,
it's the way he's decomposed. It's a result of decomposition, not from injury. So he's got one eye that's dried up and very well preserved, and the way his body is positioned, with one side decomposed very badly, worse than the other, but it's basically desiccated and dried out.
Oh goodness!
So it's basically you're looking at the effects of decomposition. He's in a dry. I feel like he's really back in one of the tunnels. It feels like it's a center tunnel. it feels like in the center and in the back. It feels like you have these tunnels that are like they're crisscrossing each other a little bit, but this is like a center tunnel. He's in the back, and it felt like there may have been a small cave-in, but he's in the back, and he feels like it's his duty to stay there. Now I'm trying to convince him he's not. I mean, this is going to be abandoned, so it's not. He's not going to have to hang around there anymore, because there's nobody's going to be using those tunnels, as far as I know. If they're bypassing those, closing those tunnels, he still feels like there has to be some. He keeps saying there has to be some management, some landowners or somebody. It's like he wants to really want people to know how bad the conditions were and how dishonorable and how the souls really suffered under these conditions. And he feels like there's no justice for them, and they died without justice. And then he's just wondering, he's like, who can I go to? Who can I rally, who can I go to draw attention to this, to the conditions? Like, who's going to pay attention to us? So it feels like, especially when I'm feeling a different belief system, because the belief system I'm getting, it's not a Christian belief system. It's more like these souls are attached, and they're wherever your spirit, wherever you died, is kind of like where you stay. You become part of the natural environment, hopefully go back to your ancestors. So these are cut off from their ancestors. And it was like really dishonorable. And it felt like this was not only a dishonor to them, but to their ancestor to be treated this way. And he said, give me an earful. He's telling me, he says, I know that you understand. He's telling to me, I know you understand, because a while back I had a really deep connection to the Chinese railroad workers, and they were coming to me in spirit and were always talking to me. So he knows that I already know, understand. He says, but people have forgotten. People have forgotten, and this needs to be remembered. This needs to be memorialized. People need to understand just how bad it was.
Oh yeah, horrible.
Is he interested in, well, it doesn't sound like it, that he's interested in crossing over, but is he?
Okay, well, you feel like crossing over because we're going to carry this on to remember. He says, when we're remembered, I will cross over.
So, Angela, maybe you should be like writing a book or something about it. And
that's powerful.
Like that you've channeled these spirits. Maybe that's something you're supposed to be doing. Especially since they were coming to you before.
Yeah, there was a lot of years ago, and I was just for nights and nights and nights. It was just Chinese railroad workers and mining workers that kept coming to me and were showing me their culture, their history, and trying to keep it together, what it was like for them and how horrible it was. And they kept telling me about it. They were showing me. And I looked up, I did some research because I was seeing some like utensils, like cups and little basic things. And they thought, and I looked this up. It's like, wow, those are really what they used at the time. And if I didn't do that research, I wouldn't have known that this is proof. But he wants us, or wants remember like how badly it was for them, and I wish you could have seen that, because all of a sudden my lights on my overhead light, my kitchen light, my overhead light went out, and then my kitchen lights went out, and the only way for those to go out, because the bulbs aren't bad, is if you had to turn the switches off and
physically do that
suddenly.
Well, maybe that's something for you to think about, Angela. Maybe that's, right. That's why he's sticking around, and he wants you to be a voice for them, which you clearly are,
Yeah,
and
sounds like it.
You could include drawings in it with your work. Right. I mean, it would be pretty awesome. You would channel their stories and their experiences, and then he might need some hair and makeup before you put his picture in, but
he's had better days.
Little Visine in that eye.
Right.
And some work on the grill.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Seriously. Wow. Yeah, I that's one of those times to where, I mean, since I'm doing multiple things here, I wouldn't have seen that in the green room there, but I was just like, man, that's one of those moments that you wish you actually were on screen, and then we would have that basically. But
right, exactly.
Rick, you blew that one.
Hey, thanks a lot. Let me tell you. So in that case, I'm going to punch you in your 4 eyes. Well, okay. So Em, do we have anything else going on there?
I'm going back in.
She's going back in. All right. So Angela, let me take you out for a moment, and then I'm going to see if I can pay a little more attention to your screen.
It's like,
Oh, Rick.
Red 5 standing by.
I know.
Okay, so I mean, how do you top that dude? You don't.
Seriously, right?
That was a scary looking individual.
I keep seeing someone there and he's hanging. But like no one would have killed themselves there, would they have?
Well, I would, unless it was so bad, I can't take it anymore. That, or if there was some type of
or someone
Old West justice, yeah.
Because that was like the first person I saw was someone that was hung there.
Oh gosh.
And I'm like, I'm seeing it, but not his spirit's not there. I'm just seeing that somebody was. They were killed. They're saying that there was a lot of people killed, like purposely killed there. Why is that? They're saying there was people that were purposely killed there. Like
people that they were working on the tunnels?
No, some of them were separate from that. Like this was a place people were brought to, killed, and their bodies were disposed of.
Good Lord.
I mean, talk about a place where you could easily get away with that, though. I mean,
getting there, yeah, right?
I mean, well, it's remote to be. I mean, just looking at this drone footage here. I mean, the area is remote. The tunnels are numerous. I mean, if you stuck a body somewhere in there, that's a little effort, but no one's going to find it. I mean,
there was three times in particular that this was done by the same person. It was, and this was like a
sounds serial.
Someone, yeah, and he didn't get caught. They never caught him for some reason. It feels like the people he was like kidnapping were like lower income, unfortunately, and so people weren't as, like, the police at the time weren't as concerned, didn't care, didn't put that much effort into it.
Sure.
But there were 3 people in particular that were brought there and like executed? One guy, yeah.
Weird. Are we thinking like after post 1900 type, or when they were building it?
It was already built.
Oh, okay. So afterwards then.
Because the structure was used as, like, it was utilized, like, as cover or a way to hang someone. It was utilized.
Now, Mary was saying maybe they killed him to keep from paying them, but
for the workers.
If we're talking about workers, certainly anything's possible, but I'm not sure you're really talking about workers, though.
I just picked up on this random person. Like, the moment we started, I saw someone hanging there, and I was just like, I didn't say anything because it seemed out of place. Like, it wasn't relating to everything we talked about. So that's why I just kind of moved over it. But then again, when I went back in just now, and I was like, okay, there's someone still hanging there.
Right.
That's what that was. That's separate from all of that, for sure.
Well, you've got what are we talking about? 150 years of history here. So my goodness, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. The trains were used for 125 years there.
Okay.
So
there was a lot of drug transferring and a lot of mob type people that were on these trains regularly, managing cargo that had drugs in them. Which I guess
gotta get to my product to my distributors.
Yeah, which I guess is not that far fetched, but maybe that's where that was coming from. Where these people were randomly killed. There is this one picture here. I do see. There's
spooky.
A bunch of. There's like a whole group of men that were workers.
This one?
That were Asian.
Ooh.
That are together, and yeah, they're connecting and communicating to like about Angela, you know, and Angela's information and the accuracy, and that there's actually a group of beings that stay there purposefully, that stay there together. And like they're saying they like hold space there. Still, it does. I am now feeling that same thing. They're telling me that similar thing that Angela was saying about needing that story told, and that that's that holding space so that can be told, that the importance of that. Angela, I'm still going to say to you, you got to do that.
She's going to hound you. But that would be quite cool, though.
Yeah, it would be.
That's a lot. That's all I'm picking up on now.
Okay. Well, how about in the few moments that we have, let's actually take a little look-see.
Yeah, paranormal activity. I don't know what Patrick had caught up there.
Well, and I think this is going to start at the beginning.
On this episode.
So we're going to skip that a little bit.
Here in Donner Summit, getting ready to head on inside. I'm already hearing some pretty weird noises. Like
of course you are.
Chanting almost.
Of course you are.
We're setting up some of the night vision cameras. So I say we set up the rest of the night vision.
This is going to be like Mystery Science Theater 3000. We're in the front row making fun of Patrick.
Let's walk through here, see if we can map out any
Just kidding, Patrick. We're actually all here to make fun of you.
That pops up, I say we break out the spirit box or the audio.
Yeah, let's get damn straight, my man.
Let's get nuts.
Let's get crazy.
Almost immediately, we started hearing noises, so we decided to just go ahead and start the investigation.
So actually, this right here, this is the Chinese wall. So this is the wall that they built.
Oh, we cut his hair.
The Chinese laborers and immigrants.
Oh, this is from 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's like...
Oh, he's grown his hair then.
Is there anybody out here with us?
It's got to be pretty creepy out there with
nobody.
nobody.
Who helped build this wall?
SLS.
Are you working on the wall still? Hurt in an evening. This just shut down. Find. Ooh. Hurt evening. Find. Was somebody hurt here? Oh, you know what? So we were told that the immigrants, when they would get paid, they would actually come and like palace passed upon, but they would. Did you hear that? That sounded like something heavy and metal, like a gate or like a door going slamming down. There's no gates. There's nothing in there. It's abandoned. But yeah, so supposedly the immigrants, they would get paid and they wouldn't know if they were going to get robbed, murdered, anything. So they would actually hide like their money and their gold in the wall. Man, I'm hearing things.
What was that?
Like someone's walking up on us. Who's there? Did you hide something in this wall? What did you hide in here?
$1 million.
What's in this wall? Did you hide something?
$1 million.
Crack right there too. I wonder if I could.
Maybe that's the whole thing you're talking about, the hangings, though. Maybe they were hanging these people to steal their money.
Oh,
I just see a
interesting.
face staring back at me. Jesus. No, it's just a bunch of rocks, like just kind of scattered. Is there money in here? Did somebody put their gold in here? You want me to in here? Do you want me to dig in this wall?
He's got his
Can you
little
tell us what your
chisel.
name is? My name's Patrick.
We continue further down the tunnels and decide to set up the spirit box.
All right, guys, so did you hear that? It sounded like a female cry. It was like, Is somebody here with us? Okay, so we've got the spirit box set up right here. Got the M50 recording it. So we're just gonna leave that here and just walk down, just continue down in the tunnels. I've got the Alvis night vision. Yeah, let's just walk down there and see if anybody wants to communicate. Oh, I'm getting like a weird vibe in here. Do you feel that? It said grace. Did you hear that?
Damn it, I'm not hearing
It was
anything.
definitely through the spirit box, and that was that same female voice. Like sounding like a female crying. It was like, ah. But that one came through loud. And it said grace. The obvious said grace. All right, let's keep on going. Yeah, the night vision camera can't even, it's trying to rack focus in down in there. It said pray, save, and near. Is somebody here? Is somebody near us right now? Oh, that was a bat.
Oh, man. Oh, yikes.
Oh, that would be awesome to see that. I want to see it.
Mind. Threshold. Are we walking through the threshold of the mind?
I'd be a little scared of non-paranormal entities that are hiding in there. Who's up there?
Oh, yeah,
Were there
me
people
too.
that used to work back here? Can you tell us what your name is?
Like, why aren't there wild animals?
Like raccoons or like
Or
coyotes, yeah.
Or anything.
Anything.
My name's Patrick. Can you tell me what your name is?
No.
Get out.
And we're like walking up to where the tunnel changes.
That's gotta be damn dark inside there.
I bet you.
I mean, not a lot of stuff scares me, but that would be like, whoa, this is kind of spooky.
Yeah, I agree.
It's called Lose Your Lights, and yeah.
Oh, and lose your mind.
Mm-hmm. Some more great graffiti.
Exceptional. Is that like a rabbit gray alien hybrid or something like that?
Yes, exactly.
You know.
That's what they titled it.
Exactly.
See,
there's Pac-Man.
That is Pac-Man. I love that
coming
game
up
though.
to where that little like hole was. It said indicate entered.
It said Miss Pac-Man.
Waka 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 waka.
What's that say? Something people?
Do you know that
I
we're
couldn't
in here
read it.
now?
Mm-mm.
shove, puncture. Arrived government.
So it just goes crazy, rolling off words all of a sudden.
Slain.
It's a
Did somebody die
government?
in here?
Govern, I think.
Can you make a noise?
Oh, cool, Lori.
I hope not by yourself.
And you could take us along too, basically.
So,
Bless you.
Bless you.
or should we go keep walking further?
We've never had you sneeze on air before. That's great.
I've got really bad allergies.
Oh, sorry.
You hear that?
Oh, God,
Did you hear
sorry,
that?
Patrick.
Did you hear that? Did you hear Miriam sneeze? It was
I
huge.
think I heard a woman sneezing.
There was.
If he said
No,
that'd be
it's not.
hysterical.
There's something on the wall. I think it's snot.
I covered my mouth, even though no one's even here.
You know
Have.
what's creepy? You know what it sounded like?
A
Tell us.
It
sneeze?
sounded like an old train whistle, but like
A sneeze.
deep one, like.
I was gonna say it sounded like an old lady.
Now, just in case people are mad that we were talking over this,
Oh,
I
sorry.
could not hear that whatsoever. So you missed nothing. It was something only Patrick heard. So yeah.
Kind of had to be there for it. I'm
And
sure.
you can watch
Yeah.
his show without us babbling over it.
Well, exactly. And I was going to say, since we're down to a few minutes here, we'll take that out. Go to Haunted Side, and you can see the rest of that. Basically, that's one of the, it's one of the few locations that I think he's only been there one time. Which, I mean, we always talk about, if you're going to really understand a location, investigating it repeatedly is not a bad thing at all. It's
Right.
not kind of a one and done situation, unless you're basically, kind of like M, basically, and you go in there and it's like, okay, I'm piloting the helicopter, I'm mass evacuating everybody, get on, and we're leaving, So you see what I did there? I kind of put you in an action movie kind of thing.
Oh,
You're kind of all
with
like
my
Laura
ring.
Croft with your little.
Yes.
Rambo the Medium.
Me and Wonder Woman. What did you call
Rambo the Medium.
me? I noticed you didn't choose the most loving word. You chose Rambo.
Does it always have to go back to that? Hey, that was another episode. Wasn't there a Ram something?
That was the Paranormal Awards show, and that actually aired on Saturday night. So
Awesome.
So that was there for everyone to enjoy that moment. So that's great. So Angela, thank you at least for working tonight. You were the only one that was most professional of us. So
And
appreciate
being
that.
frightened too by whatever's in your apartment there. Yikes.
Yeah, he shut off the light when I was talking to him, and my overhead light went out first, and then my kitchen light went out. I'm like, how could that happen? I'm doing this, and I look over and I see that my light switches have been both flipped down. One and the other.
And that's never happened on any show. And so here we were trying to make amends for tonight, and we've got stuff happening, and we don't get it on camera.
That's how it always works, though, doesn't it?
That's exactly how it always works.
Yes.
So I got to remind folks, as usual, if you'd like to be able to get a spirit portrait from Angela, Facebook, just look up Angela Boley, psychic artist, and you'll be able to find her page right there very easily.
Portrait artist. It's not under psychic artist. Angela Boyd, portrait artist.
Portrait artist, yes. So I'll be sure and drop the link in to comments to make it also easy for folks to get in contact with you. As always, thank you for adding an extra layer to our frivolity, and everyone else. Hey, thanks for joining.
Wednesday night, Titanic.
Yeah, so Instagram Live Wednesday night. At least will be.
He is. Yay, Wednesday night.
At least be M, Oliver, and I. Hopefully, Darren can join.
And Jack and Rose, are they going to be there also?
Well, apparently Oliver thinks so that's fine. So
Loves the Titanic.
everybody, appreciate you. Have a good night. Thanks a lot.